Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Just J Hip. And once again, I'm your grumpy middle-aged guy. Little disappointment tonight. Star Chasm and I had a falling out, and she's not going to be on the show any. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She has a really bad migraine, and she messaged me before the show and said she wasn't going to be able to be on tonight. So no, we did have a falling out. I was just joking. She will be back Saturday, I hope. So plan on that. Okay, but tonight we can still do a show. I can still do it. I can do this by myself if I have to. I just for all of you that are going to be a little disappointed, you're going to be stuck with just me tonight. It appears, unless we get any other guests on. We got the chat starting to fill up here. I see we got Stacy here. I see we got Lisa Hines here. Sandy Hart Carroll, Bingo Brutti. April's here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. It's starting to fill up a little bit. As you know, yesterday, they did the big show yesterday where Volmont and Dick Lickman went on the two fleas and they spread more lies. And one thing I'm planning to do, hopefully, on Saturday is maybe get a body language expert in to possibly show everybody what they think about the body language of Volmont while he was on there, and even the body language of Dick Lickman from the show, and maybe analyze what they think was going on during this big, huge revelations that occurred over there, where these two are going to, really get this story out there. I don't know what they've been doing for the last 2 months, but they're really going to get it out there at this point in time. Daphne's here. Hi, Daphne. Thank you for coming in. I see we got 30 people in here. And don't forget to go ahead and pop down and hit that like button when you get a chance. I appreciate it. Everybody does. Once again, Star will hopefully be back with us on Saturday. She didn't feel well tonight, and she messaged me before the show and said that she wasn't going to be able to make it. She had a really bad migraine. So if you're wondering where Star is, it's just because she had a bad migraine and she couldn't make it on tonight. But she'll be back on Saturday. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Prayers for Starcasm. Hopefully she feels better. Hi, Shirley. I'm glad that you made it here tonight. As chat's still starting to fill up here a little bit. A couple things that happened. It was shared on, I think, on Megan Fox's show. Ivy. Hi, Ivy. Volmont now has a parody account as well. I don't know if it's the real Volmont. I don't think so, but maybe. But then him and fake Megan Fox had just a huge back and forth. Then on top of that, more uncoverings of the truth, or more uncoverings of what no one else would be able to uncover without using the internet and just hunting. It turns out fake Megan Fox now is on Substack and has written her first article, also a journalist, and has written her first article. I'm going to be sharing that as well. It's a good one. It's a good read. She messaged it or sent me a link of it over the other day, late last night, indicating that she was actually now a journalist, and she has released her first article. And so we're going to take a dive into that. And then we got some information on Mary Lankins. There was some just really sad news that occurred with Mary Lankins after Volmont was on the Two Fleas show the other day. Really heartbreaking news about what happened to Mary Lankins. We will be sharing that, covering that. I'm going to give you all updates on Mary Lankins and what happened with her. She's an older woman. And after some of the things that Volmont said about Mary Lankins the other day, it was heartbreaking. It's elder abuse in some ways, but Mary's always welcome on this channel. She can always jump in this chat. It's always going to be a safe place for Mary Lankins here. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm going to share and give you the updates on Mary Lankins as I have them. Her grandson, Christopher, has been giving updates out on X so everyone can see that she is okay. She's doing fine. There was just a little spat that happened in the house But I'll get into that and I'll share those. Tracy Spencer is here. Hi, Tracy. Lisa Farr is here. Glad to see you. Lisa made it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. All right, it's been a busy week. Just a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna pull up the Mary Lincoln's X post first because I want to make sure we give a shout out to Mary Lincoln's. We get those prayers out to Mary and make sure she's doing well. Let's see here. Boy, I can't believe I'm doing this on my own again. Slug Entertainment's here. Oh boy, the Rotund Boy is back. Yeah, I'm back. I'll be here for a long time. Get used to it. Okay. Yes, Lisa, we do love Mary. Put that up there for Mary. I'm sure Mary's probably watching. Well, at least I hope Mary's watching. If she's feeling up to it, if not, she'll catch it on the replay, I'm sure. But I really hope she's doing well because nothing but love over here on this side for Mary. But Mary did say, well, actually, Christopher said, hi, this is Christopher posting for Nana. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's get down to the beginning. There we go. Sorry. All right. Yeah, there it is. We wanted. Says, hi, this is Christopher posting for Nana Mary. Wanted to update Nana's fans. Nana saw the trash YouTube live claiming she's got no life and might not be real. She is livid. Downed 3 martinis in 20 minutes, a personal record, and started ranting like a pirate captain who lost his ship. Whew. Yeah. She was not happy after seeing that. Debbie Webb is here. Hi, Debbie. I'm glad that Debbie Webb is here. Thank you, Debbie, for being here. Once again, just going to remind everybody, Starcasm did have a migraine today. She's not going to be able to make it. So you just stuck with me tonight. I apologize that you're just stuck with me, but she will be back on Saturday. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, back to our readings here. Mary Lincoln, she's stomping around yelling, no life. I'll show them life. Tried to tweet a comeback at Vomit, but got in a screaming match with her phone. Why won't you type, you stupid brick? Mom and I are dying laughing. She's shaking it like a disobedient cat. Plot twist. She chucks the phone across the room, full-on MLB pitcher vibes. Missed the wall, but nailed poor Grandpa Chester right between the eyes. He's fine, but looked at her like, Grandma, phone is fine. Tougher than her attitude. Now we're at the ER with Mom because Chester's got a bump and Grandma's still muttering about YouTube punks. She's in the waiting room, no phone, glaring at a vending machine like it's next on her hit list. Mom's trying to calm her with a Snickers, but it's not working. I will update you when I get news from Mom. Needless to say, Nana might be grounded from YouTube and X for a bit. And then we got an update. The doc says Chester's okay, just mildly concussed. Nana told the nurse, tell YouTube I've got more life in than their whole crew. She's now demanding a martini IV drip. Send help and Jen. So as you can see, and of course, as always, I said prayers for Mary. She's always welcome in my chat. We have fun, friendly time always and never talk bad about Mary. That Volpe guy is an a-hole. And for what he said about her, no way. That's no way to treat your elders. So that's just some of the back and forth of what happened with poor Mary Lincoln's. Please, lots of prayers out there for Mary Lincoln's, and hopefully she can get better. 50 people here watching now. 51. Please hit the 51 likes buttons, I would hope. But yeah, so prayers out there for Mary, and hopefully she can get back around to X. She's going to be out of it for a little bit, is my understanding. but she was very upset. What Volman said is that she didn't have a life, and she might not be a real person, and she has nothing better to do than email him. Mary Lincoln seems to be getting under his skin a little bit. But, I don't think, remember, Mary just wanted to help. She was going to help him do his investigation because he didn't know who George was. Also on the show, he said Rosalind and myself were plucked from obscurity with our below than 50 IQs just to make fun of him about who is George. Who is George? Who cares? Nobody should care who George is. Well, he's investigating this. One would think he would care who George is, but he's going to dig deep and get to the bottom of this with unbiased journalism. Yeah, doesn't seem like that's occurring at all right now. But anyways, prayers for Mary. Hopefully she's doing well. Hopefully she'll get better. And, hopefully, just hopefully she can get back on her feet and get back to tweeting like we want, and get back to X, so we can all enjoy, this woman with so many life experiences that we can all learn a lot from Mary and also have a martini with. Next, we'll take a look at one of the most amazing things that have happened. I'll pull it up here. This amazing article written by Meganfauxpox. She's a journalist, been a journalist for a long time, at least 24 hours now, I believe. So she's really, really doing a good job out there, just spreading, all of the truths that she can with her hard-hitting journalist, digging deep, some might say. But this is so disappointing. It's all week long, Monday, Tuesday, and now on Wednesday, you find people are stuck with just me. Oh, it's disappointing. My cowbell didn't arrive yet. I have nothing to offer other than, a little bit of fun, some lighthearted laughs on a Wednesday evening. But thank you, everybody, for coming by, and we'll continue on. As people continue to roll in here in the chat. Give me 1 second here. Okay, here it is, Meganfauxpox. The curious case of Mike Volpe's obsession with Megan Fox, writer, not actress, says, I can't make this up, and I am a parody. That's kind of funny. She can't make this up, and she's a parody account. Sticky Widget is here. Hello, Jay, chats, and mods. Well, it's Sticky. I don't even have any mods here. I'm here 100% on my own tonight, trying to manage, this whole thing. Hold on here. Where'd Sticky go? There, we'll make Sticky a moderator. Now I have a moderator tonight. I think that worked. Since I'm 100% solo, I've been abandoned by everybody. After Tuesday's stream with Volman and Dick Lickman, all of the ladies have completely abandoned me to myself. This is horrible. No, I'm just kidding. All right, back to the article. The parody account of Megan Fox can't make this up, and she is a parody. Rankle's here. Oh, we're in trouble now. Yes, we are in trouble now. This is poor Jay. Yeah, April. It's a rough go tonight for a Wednesday, right? Wednesdays are a big show. Well, Saturdays are a big show, but Wednesdays are other big show, and I'm left here all by my lonesome, just to try and hang in there the best I can. All right. Fake Megan says, there's a strange little saga unfolding in the corners of the internet, and it's not about the Megan Fox you're probably thinking of. Sorry. Probably thinking of the one dodging explosions and Transformers. No, this is about Megan Fox, the journalist and author who's been carving out a niche covering CPS abuse, due process, and other gritty topics over at PJ Media. She's got a sharp pen in a no-nonsense style, but it seems she's also got an unwanted pen pal, Mike Volpe, a self-styled muckraker who can't seem to leave her alone. If you've been paying attention to the X-Sphere lately, oh, my dog, thank you very much. I would gladly mod for you while I drive Uber. I don't think that sounds like a safe endeavor for your passengers, my dog. Thank you for the two. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. And once again, I did order a cowbell, so that way when this happens again, it didn't arrive by Amazon in time. But if this happens again, I will be prepared. But thank you very much, my dog. Much appreciated. Okay, back to, if you've been paying attention to the X-Sphere lately, you might have noticed Volpe's particular fixation. He's been churning out articles, let's call them disparaging for politeness sake, about Megan, and they're dripping with a weird mix of disdain and desperation. Brackets are his favorite weapon of choice, littering his pieces like confetti at a parade nobody RSVP'd to. My former friend, this, my former friend, that, right? Everything's my former friend in brackets. It's as if he thinks the square brackets add gravitas to his gripe. Spoiler, they don't. They just make him look like he's yelling into a void with bad formatting. Helena Hambasket, thank you for being here. Terry Ham, thank you for being here. And Sticky Widget just gifted 5 J-Hip memberships. Thank you so much, Sticky Widget. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the members only stream we had on Tuesday. I'll do another one next Tuesday. All right. And every Tuesday morning, I will do a members only stream, or, when I can fit them in. Thank you very much, Sticky Widget, for the 5 gifted J-Hip memberships. Thank you, Sticky. Much appreciated. And once again, I'm a little behind here. Sticky Widget again gifted 10 more J-Hip memberships. Please remember to thank whoever gifts you those memberships if you are to receive one. Another 10 J-Hip gifted memberships from Sticky Widget. Thank you, Sticky, so much, as the members are starting to fill up, as we have, I think, almost 400 members. So thank you very much. Thank you, Sticky Widget. Oops. I'm out of my elements here. I'm clicking too many buttons. But thank you, everybody. Hey, Debbie Mittens here. Hi, Debbie's here. If anyone I missed, Stephen Bear's showing up. Johnny D is here. Thank you. Steph is here. Let me see if I missed anybody. Okay, Leslie's here. Johnny D is here. Thank you so much. Everybody's starting to fill up here. We'll get back to this hard-hitting piece by Meganfauxpox, the journalist, the other journalist. Now, I'm not saying Megan's above critique. She's a public figure, and her work, like anyone, can be dissected. But Volpe's approach is less thoughtful criticism and more unhinged vendetta. He's not just writing about her. He's emailing her regularly, like, check your inbox every Tuesday regularly. What's he saying? Who knows? Maybe it's a mix of unsolicited edits and conspiracy theories about her latest column. But the relentlessness of it all raises eyebrows. Is this journalism or a one-man stalker fan club? All right, boy, she's really not happy about it. Oh, we're 30 likes away from viewer likes synergy. If your thumbs are broken, split them up and face roll your way to the like button. Thank you. Yes, Sticky, please hit the like button. We're getting there. I know this chat knows what to do, and they'll get us there. All right, well, it gets weirder. Volpe's been spotted pinging Meganfauxpox, a parody account, me, on X that riffs on Megan's name and persona, begging it to connect with him with the real deal. Yes, begging fake Megan to connect him with real Megan. Imagine the scene. A grown man hunched over his keyboard, misspelling please as please. Because, yes, he constantly spells words wrong, pleading with a fake profile to play matchmaker. It's equal parts sad and absurd, like watching a B-movie villain flail at a plot twist he doesn't understand. Whew! brings up the misspellings. Remember, he cannot spell. Everything he does is wrong. I'm also an astroturfer, which led to the mugs that great Rosalind Duke has. Go check out her gift shop and feel free to buy your very own Astro Surf mug. I have one. It's on the way. Rickles is here. Greetings, Rickles. If you're late showing up, we are reading the latest and first piece of journalistic work done by Meganfauxpox. And as you can see, she puts out a poll. She knows how to do a poll as well. It says, is Mike Volpe a total freaking creep? Okay, well, 6 days remaining. We got 3 votes. Let's see. So far, your choices are hell yes, 67%. Your other option is most likely. Okay, and then your third option is no, but only to stay safe from pregnancy. So those are your 3 options in the poll. You have 6 days remaining to vote. So please go on over, hop in and vote, and we'll see where this lands. Over on Substack, Meganfauxpox, check her out. Vote in the poll, all right? And like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. It's free. You just hit the button so she has a subscriber, and then hit the like button. The last time I checked over on Vomit's latest piece about me, he had 8 total likes. Of course, one of those was his, and one of those was Dick Lickman's. We'll see where fake Megan is at the bottom of this. But let's see if we can get her over the amount of likes that Vomit has. The real journal, the other journalist who's been doing this for a long time, can he garner as many likes as fake Megan Fox? I don't know, but I'm going to say it would be pretty funny to see fake Megan show off her prowess as a journalist and become better than Vomit. That would be funny. But we'll continue on with this delightful article. All right. Speaking of spelling, let's talk about Volpe's journalistic chops, or lack thereof. His articles read like first drafts that have never met a proofreader. Typos abound, syntax stumbles, and the brackets only amplify the chaos. If you're going to call someone my former friend, at least bring your A game. Volpe's game is more like a D-, and that's generous. Megan, for all her polarizing takes, at least delivers coherence. Volpe's stuff feels like it was banged out in a caffeine-fueled rant at 3 a.m. Oh boy, she is bringing it hard. She saw the thing yesterday where Vomit really attacked Megan Fox on the show, right? Once again, him and Dick Lickman both said the same thing. She's not a journalist anymore. She's just a content creator, and went on and on. And fake Megan, she will defend. She will defend real Megan to the death if she has to. Steven, all right, well, have fun. Gonna go watch some TV. Okay, well, have fun with that. Come back and watch later. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if she comes to any conclusions. So what's driving this? Is it professional jealousy, personal beef, a misguided attempt at clout? Volpe's no stranger to controversy. He's written for outlets like the Daily Caller and has a Substack of his own where he digs into legal scandals and corruption. He's got a beat, sure, but his obsession with Megan feels less like a scoop and more like a grudge. Maybe she's called him out once, or maybe he just doesn't like her spotlight. Either way, it's a bizarre hill to die on. Yeah, it really is. Here we go. Thank you. Hey, Brunson, Rockin' Stone. Holy blank. Wow. Yes, this is hard-hitting piece. They have a lot of room to talk. Megan does still have an actual writing job. She does. She still works at PJ Media, whereas Mike Volpe still works at, well, he's covering this case for $1,765, a fundraiser that he has done 20 times before. He says he's done 20 of these just to get people to read it, to get him to write about anything. You pay him, he'll write about it in the way that you want him to write about it. Okay. Thank you, Helena. Helena wants to volunteer as as tribute. If you want, Helena, I'll swing over. I can make you a moderator. Give me a second. Swing over. Let's see. I actually have my chat open today, or I actually have my other screen open today. There we go. Enjoy that. Veteran Nation. Hey, Veteran Nation. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And there you go, Helena Handbasket. You can be a tribute moderator tonight. I appreciate it since I have been abandoned. Apparently, the checks didn't come in the mail, and I have been abandoned by all of the ladies. They have said, "You're on your own. We want nothing to do with you. You just go it alone from here on out." And it's sad for me, but well, I'll continue on. I'll trudge along and try and win back their favor somehow by giving them compliments on how terrific and wonderful they are. And maybe one of these days they will come back around to me. 100 people here in the chat. I'm hoping there's 100 likes. I can only make that assumption. As you can see, back to the article. Meanwhile, Megan's out there doing her thing, interviewing sources, breaking stories, and occasionally clapping back on X. She doesn't seem phased, which probably drives Volpe nuts. If his goal was to rattle her, he's failing spectacularly. If it was to tarnish her rep, well, he's mostly just embarrassing himself. The parody account, Gammon alone, is a self-own of epic proportions. Imagine baking on Meganfauxpox to be your golden ticket. And that's what he did. He's baking on, well, he was baking on fake Megan Fox. Please send these DMs to real Megan Fox and get back to me with the answers. Okay. I'll continue on here. All right, now that we're getting to the bottom here. Here's the kicker. Journalism is messy. It's competitive, it's raw, and sometimes it's personal. But there's a line between rivalry and obsession. And Volpe's crossed it with a typo-riddled sprint. Megan Fox writer doesn't need brackets. The writer doesn't need brackets to make her point. She's got the bylines to back it up. Volman, on the other hand, might want to invest in a dictionary and a new hobby, preferably one that doesn't involve harassing people who have already outclassed him. Wow. And 4 likes. Halfway there. She liked herself too. All right. Who won it? But halfway there. She did not re-substack her stack. All right. She did not restack her substack. So she's playing an ethical game there. But 4 likes compared to Volpe's 8. Volpe's article's been out there a week. Approximately fake Megan Fox 1 day. 1 day as being a journalist, and she's receiving almost half the attention that Volman, who's been doing this for, 20 years, is now almost on the verge of being outclassed in his own class. So thank you very much. If you guys want to, I would appreciate it, because I want to give her a shout out for her hard work, not just defending real Megan Fox, but also for putting herself out there a little bit. But go see Meganfauxpox on Substack. Give her a subscribe, read her article, or just give her article a like, and let's see where we can get Meganfauxpox to. It's a good read on Substack, and I'm heard she's going to have more articles coming out. She did message me. She said she was going to try and do a new piece of journalistic work every single week. So we'll see if she can keep up with that. But yeah, and then there's some other ones. Rosalind's put out some. Rogue Mama has put out some. So definitely go give these a read. They're all a good read, a good time, and we might have time to take a look at a few more of those. Let me see if I've missed anything in the chat while I was reading. 105 people here. Thank you very much. 105 likes. Let's see. Rickles. Kevin Shealy's here. Hi, Kevin. I'm glad Kevin is here now. I have another moderator here finally after being abandoned. I have some people here that can help me out a little bit. I appreciate it. But yeah, that was a good little fun read. So go check it out and let's see where we can get fake Megan Fox, or at least get her some views, some likes, and some and some subs over there because she is a fun watch. As I told you before, she had this back and forth with. I'm just going to pull up the replies there. And she had a back and forth with this new account, and she is killing him over there with stop that screen. With her, just with her journalistic stylings and writings, she comes up with some very, very good comebacks to him. So let's see what she has to say. Once again, she's very, very funny. Let me scroll down just to get to the start of this saga. Okay. Even real Megan pops in on this, so it's pretty good. I just want to get to the beginning. I didn't set this up fast enough. Okay. And she has some interesting things to say about real Volmont too. So it's not just between her and this new fake account. I don't know that it's fake. It might just be his account. Him and Dick. It could be Dick Lickman's account. I don't know. He likes to make fake accounts all the time. So let's take a look at what they had to say here. Give me 1 second. Hey, Gareth Boltfish here. Thank you, Gareth, for coming in. I appreciate it. Now we'll get over here. All right, Mike Volpe says bizarre interaction. Now, we had read a couple of these before, but let's get into, I think, fake Megan pops in on these. Just give me a second here. All right. She says right here, she says, after, Volmont, he was talking about the bizarre interaction. Of course, he talked about the AstroTurf, hashtag AstroTurf. And fake Megan Fox says, looks like someone is a little jealous of Jay Hip. By the way, I was able to be in the live chat this past Saturday. It was so fun, but it's also fun making sure everyone knows that you are a stalker pinhead. Stop emailing me, please. Apparently, he is also now emailing fake Megan Fox, or maybe she just means real Megan Fox. I don't know, since they seem to be one. Hi, Gary is here. And Debbie Baker, thank you. 10 more gifted J Hip memberships to add to the pile of gifted memberships that have come in. Thank you so much, Debbie Baker, for the 10 J Hip memberships. Thank you. I appreciate it. And everyone who gets a membership, be sure to thank whoever you got that gifted membership from. It's always nice to say that. And for everyone, welcome, and just enjoy being a member of the Hippies. It's an exclusive group of people. But Debbie, you can be late all you want. I appreciate you being here. And yes, you can watch from the beginning, but why don't you stay in the present right now? Or but thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And thank you once again, Debbie Baker, for all of your kindness and generosity. It's so nice. It's just raining down memberships tonight, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, back to fake Megan Fox. All right. Let's get to the top of the exchange. Here it is. Mickey Volmont Instigates is apparently this new account that is up. I don't know if it's Dick Lickman or if it's just someone else. Maybe it's Mickey. We don't know who it is. But yes, there is a new account up, and it says, as the victim of an ongoing astroturfing campaign funded by my former BFF Meganfauxpox, I will cover this story for you. I will need help funding my travel and can set up a GoFundMe. This evil pervasive this evil is pervasive in society. I aim to expose it all. So yes, for whatever the funding is, however much it costs, he will participate in defending himself against this astroturfing with three T's. Astroturfing turfing campaign. So yes, head on over to his fundraiser. Go ahead and give if you want, or stay right here and save your money. Finally making a live, Frankie. Finally making a live. Well, I am glad you're able to make it in here live today. Appreciate it. Yes, Kevin. Megan was never your BFF. Okay, get over yourself. All right, she's my BFF. No, she's not. No, she wants nothing to do with you, sir. Okay, she's done with you, is my understanding. Move on. Debbie Baker again. Thank you, Debbie. Another 10 gifted J-Hip memberships. I appreciate it so much, Debbie Baker, for the 10 gifted memberships. Please don't forget to thank Debbie Baker for or anyone who gives you a gifted membership. But thank you so much. So generous, Debbie. I appreciate it every time. Squid is here. Squid Pro Flow is here. Hi, Squid. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you coming over. Back to it. Let's see what fake Megan has to say to Volmit. She says, looks like someone is still acting like a whiny little bee. However, I will donate to your GoFundMe if you use the money to fix your stupid. Stop emailing me. Okay. Volmit says, you're too afraid to answer my question. Stop projecting anti-Semitism onto me. All right. Meganfauxpox says, I remember the last time you answered a question. It was, are you the father? Stop using words you do not understand. How's the career going? Let's see if my Substack that I started later on gets more traction than yours. Mickey, of course, does what he always does. He said, what took you so long to respond? Were you talking to your master? Megan says, no, just my large amount of followers. I see you have quite the backing, Dickie, and yourself. Don't forget to like your ex posts and share them with yourself. Maybe your fat friend will hop in here one day. She's pretty vicious, and she really doesn't like him. But she is pretty vicious on the X account. Let's see what else he has to say. Then, of course, she calls her astroturfer. And Meganfauxpox says, non-spell checker, you're the dumbest journalist ever. Oh, wait, I forgot about Dickie. You were tied for dumbest human ever. Mickey Volma Instigate says, anti-seismic. Oh, use the spell check, Mickey. Use the spell check. Anti-seismic? Come on. Sorry, I had to cough. Meganfauxpox says, anti-seismic? No part of Dickie is anti-seismic. He puts the size in seismic. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. She's coming now with the literary game here. She's throwing it all out there. Oh, this is good time. Mickey does what he always does. He says, mute. We all know Mickey has a problem with muting, though. Mute is not his strong suit. But he just comes back and just says, mute. Fake Megan, of course, says, hey, Ozzy Aries. Morning, Jay and Chat. Hey, Ozzy, thank you for being here all the way from, well, I assume Australia. Meganfauxpox says, saying mute does not mute me, idiot. I smell something awful. Oh, yeah, it's your trash journalism. It smells all the way here in New York. Apparently, in New York, where Meganfauxpox lives, she can smell the trash journalism that is Mickey Volman. So it's going a long way over there. I'm trying to read the chat a little bit here. All right. Mickey Volman says, I'm not listening to you. And Meganfauxpox says, Of course, you're not listening to me. This is an X thread. My goodness, if there was a picture to describe stupid, it would be you. Have a good time on the Two Fleas tomorrow. I'm sure that will be a banger. Yeah, you could do that on that stream. Oh, I think she's referring to, I hope none of them are pregnant over there after that encounter. Debbie Baker, just don't quit. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate you so much. Gifted 10 more J-Hip memberships. Thank you so much, Debbie Baker. Don't forget to thank Debbie. Don't forget to thank Debbie if you receive one of those gifted membership. Debbie, you are amazing. Thank you so much for everything you do and all your support as we just try and share a little bit of fun, what we find on X, what we find on YouTube or Substack or around the globe. But yes, thank you so much, Debbie, for everything you do for us, this channel, and for me. And once again, Star was not able to be on here tonight. Hopefully she'll be able to be with us on Saturday. I believe she'll be back on Saturday. I'm really, really sorry that she wasn't able to make it, but we do hope she feels better. That's what's important. Mickey Volman says, you are too chicken to go on. Well, I don't think Meganfauxpox wanted to go on the Two Lees. Megan said, that is very true. I do not want to be near you as you attempt to impregnate everyone. You have held back my career enough. I can't lower myself to your level. Yes. Volman has really slowed down Megan's career and that she had to let him go. Ancient Drummer's here and Jody Who's here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. But has held down her career. Now she's flourishing and rising to the top. She's on the top, basically. And so, yeah, it's not going well. And Mickey's a little jealous. I'll say one thing. On the stream the other day, one of the things that happened was he said, J-Hip always says it was an unwanted pregnancy, and that's not true. We were trying to get pregnant, because I was going to marry her. Oh, Dwayne Rapp is here. Look at Dwayne Rapp. Thank you, Dwayne Rapp. Gifted 20 J-Hip memberships. Thank you, Dwayne. Always so generous. Please remember, thank whoever you get a gifted membership from. But yes, thank you, Dwayne. Another 20 gifted J-Hip memberships. Welcome to the hippies if you are able to get one of those. Rogue says, Jay, I'm at the pharmacy. I can jump on while I drive home. Send a link. Give me a sec. All right. You guys are going to have to entertain yourself for just a sec so I can send Rogue a link. Give me a second here. I can do this. It's right down here. Invite. Copy. Give me just a sec. I just want to send Rogue a link here. Well, where is it? That's his message failed. Well, I'm trying to send Rogue a link. Let's do it this way. I mean, if we can get Rogue in here, we should get Rogue in here. Okay, there it went through. I sent it over there on the I DM'd you over on X there, Rogue. So you should have a link now if you can grab that. If you can grab it. Okay, but one thing I was going to say, because I was watching the show the other day, and or the two fleas the other day, and basically he said it wasn't an unwanted pregnancy. But I would contend to ask this because I don't know the answer to this, and maybe he can maybe he can answer this question. But when she became pregnant, was that at the same time that you were still covering her as was she still part of a story you were writing on? Because I don't think she would have appreciated it, and that might change whether or not this was a wanted pregnancy or not. I don't know. I'm just asking a question. It might have been a wanted pregnancy at the time, but she still may not have known that she was part of a piece of writing a story that he was doing. So I don't know. He can answer that question. I have no idea. I'm just saying what he did was unethical. We all know that. But, surrounding this pregnancy, he can answer that question. I don't know if he came clean with her before all of this occurred. Well, we'll see what happened. But yeah, hopefully we can get Rogue Mama in here. We'll see what happens. And if not, I'll continue to go it alone. Oh, she says once she gets back in the car, she'll be able to do it. All right, I think I'm just finished up with that. Okay, so back to our story. Oh, and once again, then Mickey Volment comes back and says hashtag trash journal limbs. Again, now he's hashtagging incorrectly. He can't even spell correct his own hashtags, but we'll click it. There's no results for trash journal limbs. I've always been fair to everybody on this channel, checking everybody's tweets or hashtags to see which ones work and which ones do not. All right. We'll get up to the next one here. Sorry. Oh, okay. Just had Rogue messaging me. She'll be here shortly. So stay tuned because Rogue will be here shortly and we'll get her on for a little bit. But at the same time, we will continue reading on and we will get Rogue's take on what happened with the big show yesterday. Mickey Volment is going to be talking a little bit about tariffs and things like that. He says, hold up, sir, is this, he just talks. Okay. Let's get down to the comments because that's where it's funnier here. Forgot to click that. Wendy says, if I had stocks, I'd care. Most middle American doesn't. I'm looking forward to all the new jobs. Volpe says, receipts, I said. Receipts, because he only cares about receipts. And Meganfauxpox says, don't worry, Wendy. Mickey never has receipts. He doesn't even have toilet paper. Trash journalist. Oh, yeah. Her hashtag seemed to work. It's very exciting to see that. Hold on, what did Debbie Baker say? Jay, no one can say that. You are not fair. I know Star would agree with me. What did I say, Debbie? I missed something. Hey, Roy's here. I appreciate Roy being here. 122 people here. Debbie, I'm sorry. I missed what was going on there. I'm sorry, Debbie. Back to our battle as we wait for Rogue Mama to get here. She's at the pharmacy. Mickey says, stop following me. Megan says, stop emailing, stalking, saying former friend in brackets, using stupid brackets, substacking, and streaming about me. That's what the block button is for. I think that was your response to Shara, right? Dumbass. Yeah, see, that's what he told Shara. she said, stop messaging me. And he's like, well, that's what the block button's for. Like, now it's her responsibility to get him to stop his stalking behavior. Stop being a stalker and a creep, Mikey. That's why now you have an entire poll out just for people to answer the question of whether or not you are a freaking creep. And he says, xenophobia. I don't know what any of that means. I have no clue. He's just shouting out a word now. Yes, Lisa, him and his hashtags. He's a shit writer. Drop that old hat and brush up on what's lacking. I can see plenty across the board. Yes, Lisa, he's a hack, just like what I am too. I'm Jay the Hack Hip, apparently, according to him, with my below 50 IQ. So, anyways, Meganfauxpox says, I don't even know where to go with this one. Another word you don't understand. Hitting the trifecta of nonsense tonight, I see. Xenophobia, anti-seismic, astroturfing, classic vomit. Vomit comes back and says, your so-called journalism is an affront to my superior intellect. I'm the ultimate arbiter of truth. Have been slighted by your mere existence yet again. How dare you write about CPS abuse when I've already solved all the world's problems with my 2009 Chicago Reader article? Yeah, there's an E at the end of there. Come on, Mick. He might have run out of words, or, he might have run out of the limit of letters there. Maybe I'm going to give him just a little bit of a break. Maybe he hit the max amount of letters that he can reach on that one. I'm not sure. We'll see. Oops. Over here. Oh, I see Rogue Mama is now in that. Rogue Mama is acting, and Rogue Mama is here. Well,
can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you for being here, Rogue. How are you tonight?
I am okay. I'm here.
Well, good. I appreciate you being here. Your mom is also here. Hey, everybody.
She is. I don't like my mom.
Well,
sorry.
What did you think about the show yesterday? Did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched, I would say maybe, so are you talking about, because they actually had two shows.
Well, let's talk about the first one that they were on. The second one was equally great. Well, you know what I mean by equally great.
Yeah.
But the first one, what did you happen to notice about maybe Vomit when he was talking?
Well, I thought it was interesting that he monopolized the conversation. And he was, he would say, I'm not a lawyer, but then he would go on to explain all this legal stuff. So I thought that was odd because Dick was there and he has been a lawyer. I would like to tell him personally that he called us evil. And I believe he said that we had IQs of 50. And I can tell him that mine is closer to triple that. Not to brag, but if you're going to start throwing out that kind of stuff, Mickey, receipts.
Yeah.
So
also, I will say this myself. I'll give him credit. I'll just say maybe mine is around 50. I have no idea.
Well, actually, I think the average is between 85 and 95. And I mean, there's nothing, I'm just saying, if you're going to throw insults, at least be accurate with them. Like, that's just kind of the wrong, narcissist, because he did call us narcissists. And I think that anybody who goes on YouTube or is an actor, journalist, that kind of thing, has a little bit of narcissism in them. I think we all do. So I just think that our other personality traits balance that out. So again, not an insult.
One of the other things I noticed on the show, and this is why we're going to have I think we're going to get a body language.
Oh, yes.
Was what is with all the scratching on his neck and face? Because from what I know, that's an indication of deceit and lying.
It also could be allergies.
Yes, it could be one. There could be multiple explanations, but just knowing this guy's past and how often he struggles to tell the truth, it seems like, or his bias. And you've seen his shady character and behaviors before. You know, you look at
Yes.
what we showed with Pop Pop and this account that, you know, Rosalind points out on Saturday stream, and then the very same day, all of a sudden, the account's been changed, you know, unfollowed Volmet,
Yeah.
4 new followers. This level of, you know, trying to
Hold on.
hide who he really is.
Can you
That's
hear
why
me?
I saw him doing all this scratching and stuff, and I'm like, is he just full of crap? And well, I know he's full of crap, but you know, that was my take on it. Still there, Rogue? I might have just lost Rogue. We'll see if she comes back in. She is
Okay.
she okay,
I'm
go ahead.
here. It's cutting out, so I don't know if it's going to work with my mobile data.
It's okay. I can hear you now. You're just fine. What did you think about last night's the later program that was on last night and what was said there? I haven't mentioned anything yet.
I'm trying to think back to it because it was pretty crazy. It was a pretty busy day. I did not listen, surprisingly, to a lot of it. I did get it at first, and you know, it's just the same old, you know, Bruce is this and Bruce is going to do that, and you know, we're evil. It's good and evil. There's no gray. It's all black and white.
Well, and then this
You
Robin
know,
character.
and
Well,
oh, and then there was the apparently, somebody sent Lisa a box of pee pads,
yeah, it was 30 minutes of the show.
and Gabe was very interested in the pee pads. He wanted to know if they had a scent. What are they for? Are they diapers? Are they this? You know, that's an interesting gift to get from. I mean, and I'm sure it was a gag. Okay, it was funny. You know, I've been known to send funny stuff to certain people I know, so you know, it
Yeah,
wasn't like it was serious. But you know, Gabe was very interested in what these pee pads were for, and you know, sometimes Gabe, he reminds me of a very inquisitive, and not like a kid, not in a bad way. And so he does ask a lot of questions, and some, it makes me, I mean, honestly, I know like everything, but he, from like talking to, like from listening to him talk, I would have a conversation with him. I think he'd be, you know, it'd be interesting. But
yeah.
he was making me laugh, and not in a bad way.
Yeah, it was funny because I don't remember which one of them. I thought it was Robbie, or it could have been it could have been Lisa, but she was like, they were talking about Dick Lickman and Volmet, and she was like, and you can tell that these guys know their stuff and they're really smart just by the way they talk. It's the
Yeah,
things you say that make you smart, not
I
the
mean,
way you talk. Oh,
but you know what though? Like I can't, and I know people again. Yes, Dick Lickman comes off more intelligent um, than Mickey. Mickey is dull as a brick wall to me.
yeah, yeah,
He he's just boring, and like he doesn't, like, everything seems to go over his head. Whereas like Dick will get a joke and he'll laugh, but Mike doesn't. It's like he's got no personality, no sense of humor.
yeah, yeah. He does it, you know, because it's funny that uh, Dick, he can come off as smart, but then we all saw the video where he's, you know, playing pretend fighting in the hallway of his office. And I'm like, you never know what you're going to get with this guy. Are you going to get smart, or are you going to get that? And so I don't really know what's wrong with him, if he's bipolar, if there's something going on there where, you know, sometimes he can't come off as smart, or he says things that seem smart, but I don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get. Whereas Volmet, he just comes out, and most of what he was talking about was just bashing on Megan Fox. I mean, once again, he has this
Yes.
obsession with her that
Oh yeah. And he's going off that Megan accused. Oh, am I there?
yeah, you're still here.
Okay. I heard a beep. So he went off about Megan is going to lose everything and get sued because she accused Michelle or Lynette of having Munchausen by proxy. And, Megan never accused or said, people have said that, and that's all she said. I don't think I mean, granted, I have to go back and listen. I don't think that Megan knows, what she can and can't say and whatnot. I don't believe her and, ever saying Munchausen by that she definitely had it or whatnot. But I do know that there are family members that have said that there are reports of that diagnosis, but repeating that's a lot different than and saying, because honestly, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if she has it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think it's, I don't think it's that. I have other thoughts of like what it might be closer to, but I don't think that it's because there's Munchausen by proxy or fictitious disorder, and then there's just malingering, which that's the one where people just do it to grift.
Yeah, it could be it could be anything. It could be a combination. I don't know. I'm not a doctor either, and once again, I wasn't covering the case. When I tune in and listen to Megan Fox, a lot of times, and Tug or Shizzy, I'm not always listening to, like when I listen to Shizzy, I'm listening for fun, especially when he's got Yamaha biker on. It's an enjoyable time. I'm not actually listening for the content of what's being said, but how it's being said. When I'm over watching Tug or Megan's show, when they get to the point where maybe they're reading through a transcript or something that's out, I may not be really in tuned anymore. I'm in for the beginning of the show, the end of the show, something in the middle. But if they were just reading through a transcript or something, a court document, I'm usually tuning out, doing other things. I'm not like really focused on it because I'm not covering this whole thing. I could care less.
Well, I do think that the stuff that Shizzy and Megan have been reading currently, both is very interesting.
Oh yeah,
that's the report from the bar, the allegations that Bubbles posted on his Facebook in his comments. He thought it made him look good.
Yeah, no, that one was very funny when Shizzy's read on it last night.
Yeah,
it was so funny. I think it was last night. Him and Yamaha were on, and it was a blast. And
when I talk about, again, I've talked about some stuff that I've noticed with Bruce and that kind of thing, and that's kind of what I've been basing because I read all of it. It was like 82 pages.
Yeah.
And if I'm remembering correctly, and that's kind of like when I say that I see a lack of impulse control and things like that. That's what I initially got my analysis from. Were his communications, and and granted, that's just based on my experience and what I saw.
Yeah. Well, and one of the other things, when I was watching the show the other night, that I don't know, I didn't really understand. Well, I don't understand is how they think that this is funny. Like, Robbie went into this huge deal about how he never washes his hands before he eats, and he never washes his hands unless his wife makes him or something. I don't know. But overall, it's kind of disgusting talk.
Was he serious though? Because remember, he knows that we were reading the transcripts, and he started saying stuff.
I don't know, but it just sounded like he was being serious, like he was talking like he does this all the time. I don't know, but then he's burping, coughing. It sounds like he might have at one time been throwing up into. And I'm like,
that was for you, Jay.
I'm like, you can mute occasionally, but I was like, as a listener, how can you watch this? Because I don't know, he just doesn't seem like a very sophisticated individual, if you ask me. But maybe he is. I didn't find him as being very sophisticated.
I don't really find. I don't really. I don't find the whole show. I mean, with all the, and I know that I don't want to sound like a snob, but when people use "don't" wrong, like that's like cringe, like that just
Yeah,
nails down a chalkboard, and that's just because I grew up that way, and like I get that everybody doesn't have the education that I have, but
sure.
and also, I used to do a lot of public speaking, and so you learn, and to me, it's just, and a lot of the lowbrow sexual humor, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good joke, and I'm not opposed to, like I'm not a prude, but some of the stuff that they've put out, like with Jeremy, with Butthole Lips, and it's just so, like, it's not even funny.
Yeah,
And like they're hysterical about it, but then when like somebody else put out a meme of, I think it was John Cook and Bruce on a couch together doing some stuff, I thought it was disgusting and gross too, but I thought I was equally grossed out by all of it. I
yeah.
didn't think one was funny and then the other wasn't, because they were horrified. They said the person who put it out was disgusting, and I'm thinking, but yet you lauded, you know, Dick with his little video, and you put out the human centipede and the butthole lips, and to me that is just low. I mean, it's just low class. It's low class humor. Like, I mean, it's low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit. That's what it's like. You're not even trying to
Well,
be
and that's
funny. Like, try.
that's one of the things, though. It seems like when Bruce Matskin assembled, well, I assume, I don't know, assembled this group of people with characters, this group of misfit toys. If you look at all of them, they seem to come from the same levels, right? I mean, you have the creeper and the convict, and you got the Toolies, and then you throw Robbie in the mix with his background, and it seems like it's and I hate to say this, a less sophisticated group of people that aren't on the top tier of whatever their said business is. For instance, if you look at journalism, Dick Lichtman and Volman are not where you go for journalism. Whereas on the opposite side, you have Megan Fox, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. There's two complete distinct difference in the level of quality of work that you're getting. I'll say that. Because I don't want to just sit here and disparage the two leads. They can do whatever they want, but they brought these guys onto their show to tell lies, because he still is thinking that this is some well-funded campaign of me and Rosalind Duke attacking him because we were promised something, when no, the only thing we were promised was to have a good time and make fun of them.
But what's so funny, Jay, is I'm the one with the public relations degree.
Yes.
So technically, wouldn't it be me? And I'm like out there saying, nope, not, and it's just like, it's just, and yeah, I mean, it's like, and I don't want to talk on, because, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, we go out there and we troll people and we do stupid stuff. And, we at least try to, be punny with it and funny, and that kind of thing. But it's just like, I just feel like everything with them is low hanging fruit, and there's no receipts. Like, the stuff that they say happened, and their proof, it isn't proof.
Well, I want to say this before Megan goes live.
Oh, yeah.
We lose everybody. I want to say this because this is the best example I can give to make my point. Jeremy Hales was in our chat on Saturday, and as much as it would be a big win for me to get Jeremy Hales to promote my show, right, or send people to my show, the first thing that I said when he was in this show,
oh shit,
I told him, I said, Jeremy, I'm not following your case. I haven't picked a side. It's not my thing. And I found him to be very funny in the chat. I enjoyed him being there. But the first thing I said, because I could have saw him in my chat and been like, Jeremy, go shout my name out, put me everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. The first thing I said was, I didn't pick a side. So
not only that, but you said, and this isn't going to look good for me.
Yes. I had to make it very clear And yeah, anyone else can say what they want, but that's what I thought. Big Dummy seemed to think that it's a well-financed campaign against or pro Hell's campaign. And the first thing I do, the very first time that Jeremy is in my chat, is I set the record straight. And it did not benefit me to set the record straight, but it was for my own personal integrity, to make sure everyone knew that that's where I stood. And so I don't know what more I can do to prove.
Well, and here's the thing: I feel like they don't get this. It's like, I don't always agree with Jeremy. Like, sometimes he says stuff and I'm like, and I cringe because I'm like, thinking as my PR brain, oh, people are going to twist that. And there's been things that he may have done that I'm like, I don't agree with that. But you know what? He's a grown adult, and I'm not privy to all the background, and I'm not going to base an opinion off of an edited video.
Yeah.
And, it's like, we don't know why, because we're not in that person's head. And it's not like we have the right to, like, me call him up, Jeremy, why'd you do that? Why'd you say that?
Yeah.
That's not my place. But when it comes down to it, when you take it back as far as with Jeremy, and you look at the case itself, this started with Judge Tobias, and they're going on and on about how Jeremy got that judge thrown off, blah, blah, blah. But yet here they are trying to do the same thing with the new judge.
Yeah.
And they're like, for bias. But that's why Judge Tobias was thrown off, was for bias. And so everything with them is like very hypocritical. It's like, it's okay for them to do it, but not for the other side. And when it comes down to it, it's about the court case. It's about the First Amendment. And I think there are good points out there of, that I've mentioned, like, when does freedom of speech cross over to harassment? Is there a line? You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a very good, thing to talk about, because there is a line. But, we can't talk about it because these two sides are warring. And, anybody with an opposing opinion comes into Megan's side and that's a troll. No, it's not. I'm like, let the person be here. Number one, they're hearing, they're learning, and I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I want to hear opposing opinions. And I'm not going to sit there and attack people who are genuinely asking questions or even making a funny, jab or whatnot. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being here, Rogue. But at the same time, I know Megan is getting ready to go live in a second. If she's not already, I think it's not quite there, but I think she's getting ready to go. But I wanted to tell everyone, thank you, Rogue, for hopping on with me as I was here. And hopefully we get Star back with us on Saturday. Feel better, Star. Don't worry for not being here. I can handle this. But thank you, Rogue, for giving me a little bit of backup. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. Thank you for all of the gifted memberships.
Yes.
Thank you for the super chats. But yes, all of those gifted memberships really help. And also, please like, subscribe, and I appreciate it if you would also share. We are so close to 2,500 subs. We're only 45 away. So please, let's see if we can get to 2,500 subs by Saturday, before Saturday's big stream. We'll have something really good for you on Saturday, I promise. But please share. Share is the only way we can really do this. But thank you, everyone, for being here. All your gifts. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you, Rogue.
And prayers to Mary Lincolns.
Prayers to Mary Lincolns. You
prayers
get back
up for Mary.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone, have a good night. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, it's hip to BJ.